What's up, Mooncutter fans? Joffrey Curry here, as always. Tonight is going to be a interesting episode. Um, Talking about honestly one of the teams that I'm not the biggest fan of, but in the spirit of equality, I figured we eventually had to. So tonight we're going to be talking nothing but Pittsburgh Steelers. I do want to apologize in advance that it's been, or I guess I want to apologize now that it's been a while. I know you've missed us, but scheduling has been difficult between my hectic work life, covering 6 different jobs, and the fact that every time I think I got something lined up, either it falls through or I have to reschedule it because of the rapid fire recordings and postings from this guy. Welcome to the board, my co-host, Adam. How's it going, buddy? Yeah, you know it's your fault. You know what you did. You know
it ain't my fault. It's not my fault. Sometimes you get on a roll and you just keep it going. You don't want to kill that flow. So you get things rolling and you just want to keep going, I had a killer show this morning with Tom and Quincy. I thought for sure you were going to snoop in the background on it. I wish you would have been able to listen in the background. You should have snooped around. Tom killed it this morning. So I've had a couple guests this week. I had five shows. Then we did the football thing a little bit ago. That was a fun mess.
We're not even going to talk about it right now.
After the show, we need to talk about that too. So we'll stick around afterwards. I just coming up with different things now.
Yeah, Mooncutters might have just received another big contract. We're waiting for things to get ironed out before we break the news to you guys, but it could be big.
And then, so we are learning something from our other co-host who's looking for a producer now. We're going to bring in next.
Well, your other co-host,
right?
He's on the other show that you're involved with. I used to be, but creative differences kind of pushed different directions. But whether we agreed and argued at that point a lot or not, we're still friends. And
that's the bottom line. That's the whole thing that's the biggest thing about doing this in reality is keeping everyone friendship, keeping everyone growing, being able to communicate with everyone. It's kind of like a big fucking relationship. Because you have your fights, you have your miscues, and then you come back and you repatch some wounds and you do a podcast. And now we're going to talk Steelers with the next guy.
Yeah, we are. The podcasting world is a big fucked up dysfunctional family. But as I was saying, yes, we've had our differences in the past with the other project. But we are still friends, and when it comes time to talk Pittsburgh Steelers, I couldn't think of a more appropriate guest than the founder of, at the time it was called Sports Authority, but due to not wanting to get sued, they rebranded to Shock Sports Podcast. Welcome, Eric Reffert, to the table. How you doing, buddy?
What's going on, man? I'm doing good. Happy to be here.
Sorry
and yes, we fight and kiss and make up. So yes.
Sorry for the long-winded intro, but
that's okay. It happens.
Had to build some suspense for your ass somehow.
I know, right? Man, I was even getting suspense. I was even in suspense. Like, oh man, I can't wait.
I'm sure you were.
I'm
sure you were, right. Mr.
Bubbler. Oh man, I was even there. Who is he? All right.
So Eric, man, what's been going on with your show lately? When are we getting back in the studio?
So yeah, I had to focus on school, doing a lot of hours and stuff. But just graduated, finishing up my last week in
congratulations!
Trade school. So thank you very much.
Good job.
Getting that degree. So
not degree's not a degree anymore,
huh? Well, this is a degree. It is technically an associate's degree at a trade school. It's very rare. what I did not know was I graduated from the number 6 trade school in the whole country. I did not know that. So when I found out that at the graduation ceremony, I'm like, holy moly, prestigious when it comes to trade schools. So I thought that was cool.
Good job. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you very much.
So, Eric, did you get a chance to look at the Steelers today, lately? Did you see that the Cowboys were interested in Miles Boykin?
Yeah. They do need an extra receiver after
I think that'd be a good move for them.
What would they give up? Probably a 5th-round pick, I would assume. He ain't that valuable.
Was Miles Boykin a first-round pick whenever he was picked in?
That I'm not sure of.
The Ravens?
So
I mean,
no, Miles Boykin was an Eagle.
No, he wasn't.
Let me get this straight.
Miles Boykin was a Raven, dude.
Let me get this straight. Pittsburgh is trying to acquire Miles Boykin from the Cowboys?
No, the Steelers have Miles Boykin right now. We signed him as a free agent from Baltimore.
Oh, okay. So they're trying to pick him up.
And with Chase, Pickens, and Deontay Johnson, they're starting to think Boykins isn't going to fit the mold, and the Cowboys are looking for a wide receiver to fill in that 4th spot. So they're trying to make a move from him. This happened about 8 hours ago. Apparently, this talk popped up.
Well, speaking of free agent moves, we've had quite a few in Pittsburgh that have been brought in. I'm looking at the list here, and I'm seeing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 signings. So they've been busy in the offseason. It looks like only of those 12, only 2 of them are re-signs with, forgive me on the pronunciation here, but Akello Witherspoon and Terrell Edmonds returning to the team. But they've got a lot of new faces.
No, absolutely. I love the addition of Miles Jack. He is my favorite addition because Devin Bush sucks, okay? Without a doubt. The most missed tackles, I believe, for an inside linebacker. I thought he had to go, but surely having Miles Jack there, maybe he'll learn a thing or two about tackling instead of arm tackling.
I mean, looking at the list of free agents added, the only one that really, other than maybe Miles Jack, because I'm not sure how he's going to fit in with Pittsburgh system, given that he's used to the free-for-all that was Jacksonville last year. The big name that's jumping at me is the one that you actually informed me about before we went live, and with Ogunjobi.
No, I thought that was a cool addition. It's definitely going to help with rush defense because the Steelers' rush defense was god-awful last year. I believe they were 28th out of 32, something like that. They're like in the bottom 6. God-awful. Definitely needed some help on the run defense. Ogunjobi is definitely a huge help in that front.
It definitely looks like the Steelers, who have been known for their dominant steel curtain run defense, might have the valances a little high lately because they've been a lot better at blocking the passing game than the run game lately.
No, absolutely. I'm also concerned for the relationship of Ogunjobi and Mason Rudolph. Are they going to be able to get along this season? Hopefully they patch it up. The locker room's better that way.
I mean, does it really matter though? Because only one of the two is going to be relevant.
That's true. One's going to be a third string, but they do have to see each other every day during the season. They do. We'll see. I mean, Ogunjobi did push over Mason Rudolph after the exchange.
I mean, somebody had to put him in his place after trying to fucking rip dude's helmet off.
Well, one was successful, and the one dude's head did get dented. It was not Garrett. I'll tell you.
Yeah. I will say with that play, Mason Rudolph fucked around, and he quickly found out.
No, I think he was defending himself after a late hit. But
going back, I don't think the hit was late, but
I don't think this is a very relevant discussion right now. But we do know who is right and who is wrong. It's definitely not a Jets fan. Anyway,
I mean, I'd say I have
Eric,
more to be unbiased than you, since I don't follow the Steelers, or the fucking Bengals at that point. But okay, let's get back into the free agents that they just picked up.
Eric, do you think they add another running back as far as like maybe Duke Johnson, Dearness Johnson,
No.
Ty Johnson from the Jets? Now that we're talking Jets, um, even what about Miles Gaskin? These are just four. Or five on the name that the Steelers are looking at.
See, that's what I notice a lot of mainstream
maybe add one
reporters
more for
saying.
depth.
I see a lot of reporters saying like these are the 5 or 10 players that the Steelers should pick up, and like 6 of them are running backs. Like, I think that's the dumbest thing I've ever read. They're set at running back. I do like their backups too. They have very good depth at the position. They don't need it. Realistically, I think they need a defensive back. Why don't they put like 5 or 6 defensive backs on there? And maybe they would have a better list. Because that's the most area of need right now. Are defensive backs, particularly corner.
I will say, as a Jets fan, somebody that is been overlooked on our squad that I think would be a better pickup and would probably be a cheaper trade than the guy that you mentioned. We've also got LaMichael Pirine sitting like 4th or 5th on our depth chart. That I can see if Pittsburgh needs to add a back, he might be the guy to go for.
You don't think Ty Johnson be the better one?
For price and skill set, no. The Jets have him high. The Jets do have him as
Ty Johnson's base salary though is only $965, and the Bills have Breece Hall, Michael Carter, Tevon Coleman, Perenne, and Zonovan Knight. There's that last name. There's that name stuff you were talking about with me earlier.
Zonovan.
Yeah, Zonovan Knight, the rookie they signed as a free agent they signed him after the draft. So they have 5 right now, and then
we've got 6.
Ty Johnson does seem to be the odd man out.
We've got 6, but I see. I believe the current depth chart standings are Breece Hall at 1, Michael Carter at 2, Tevin Coleman at 3, Johnson at 4, Pirine at 5, and Zonovan Knight at 6.
This one has Ty Johnson pretty much out where I'm looking. This is on the Steelers depot actually. It says it has Hall, Carter, Coleman, Perenne, and Knight. So I don't know.
Interesting. Either way, also looking here, the Steelers, another pickup that seems interesting. I don't know where he's going to fit on your depth chart, but Gunnar Olszewski.
He's going to be a punt returner, kick returner. 100%. He is not going to be anywhere close to the top 3 receivers. For that, it's probably going to be Deontay Johnson 1 if he shows up and we give him money. I don't think he deserves the money that he's asking. But, since he drops a lot of balls, especially in crucial situations, I don't know how you
he's still getting thrown, though, 11, 12. He's still making 11 catches some games. The 8th. I mean, granted, a lot of those balls are dropped in it.
Playoff game where he makes 3 drops that could have made us 3 first downs. I'm sorry. I'm all about clutch moments. He's not very clutch.
No.
He becomes Limas Swede very quick. Playoff games and crucial situations.
That's a horrible name.
This is one of those horrible players we've ever had play receiver. My God, that guy. I don't know, man.
Okay. So there is use for Olszewski on the squad, though.
Yes, he will be a returner, 100%. And probably occasionally. No, he's probably going to. Or block on screen passes.
Okay, you picked up 2 safeties. Well, re-signed 1 and picked up 1 with Terrell Edmonds and DeMonte Kazee.
There's also another one, too. Let me look on my list here. Come on, mouse. Thank you. Carl Joseph, 1 year, $1 million deal. 1.035, if you want to be exact. That's another strong safety. He's most likely going to be the backup free safety, if I had to guess. Not strong safety. Or no, I'm sorry, he's going to be the backup strong safety, and then DeMonte Kazee will be the backup free safety. That's what the depth would look like there.
Does Terrell Edmonds stay at the top of the list?
Yes, he is definitely the starting strong safety.
Okay.
Just based on the salary, what the Steelers are paying these guys, yeah, Terrell's definitely starting as strong safety, and Carl Joseph will be behind him on the depth chart.
Okay.
If we're going based on salary, and yeah, you would definitely want to start your highest paid guy. You're trying to get the most value out of him. So it only makes sense to make Terrell Edmonds your starter unless Carl Joseph proves you otherwise.
Okay, we can agree on that. We're going to skip over the next position that's showing up on my list because that's going to turn into a bit of a debate here, I believe. So we'll move on to linebackers. You got outside linebacker Tazar Skipper from Tennessee, and you got on the inside, you got Miles Jack from Jacksonville.
Tuzar looks like he's going to be a backup. He's probably going to be a special teamer at best, right? On the kickoffs and maybe blocking on kickoff returns. I don't see him doing much after that unless someone gets hurt. Miles Jack, yeah, he's definitely going to be the number one inside linebacker. Devin Bush in that 3-4 will be playing next to him. But when it comes to nickel packages, I see Miles Jack going out there a lot more. Yeah, Miles Jack's definitely going to be the starting inside linebacker in nickel packages. That's what they wanted. And
I do know that when that signing went through, you were over the moon.
I loved it, and I'm going to love it this season. He's going to definitely add on to pass defense, and he's got very good run defense too. And he's an all-around guy, man. I mean, that's what we're getting out of him. And let me see his salary again. I just want to make sure here. Right on this. Yeah, only $8 million per year for a guy like that 10 years ago. He would have gotten more. The fact that we're able to get him at this value, I think he's gonna prove everybody wrong.
I love the signing.
Fluke.
I love the signing.
So do I. I'm very ecstatic.
Me and you were ecstatic. Me and you've been ecstatic about this Jack signing.
Oh yeah, he's awesome, dude.
Joffrey hates him. Joffrey doesn't think it's gonna fit getting good for this team.
I don't hate him as a player. I just don't know how he's going to fit in with Pittsburgh's scheme. The fact that Jack is used to a free-for-all, every man for himself situation from what he dealt with in Jacksonville this year to moving on to Pittsburgh, who is known as being one of the most disciplined defensive squads in the league. It's going to be a big change for him. Let's see if he's able to make the transition.
I think he'll do just fine.
I think he's going to do all right too.
I don't have any worries about him. My only worry about him is if he gets hurt, then we're screwed. Then we have to rely on Devin Bush on every single nickel play.
Every single nickel play.
Oh man!
All right. You picked up. Moving on to the most expensive, I believe, free agency signing you guys pulled. Yes, or unless Ogunjobi was more, I don't know because I don't see the details on him. But you picked up a 3-year, $26.5 million signing for
a cornerback
guard out of Chicago, James Daniels.
Yeah.
And you also picked up a 1-year, $1.035 million contract on the guard from Carolina, Trenton Scott.
Okay, so for James Daniels, he is definitely going to be starting on one of the two guard positions, either left or right. And they are going to move over Kendrick Green over to guard as well. So whatever side they decide to put these gentlemen on is fine. Mason Cole is signed at 3 years, $15.75 million to be just that, the starting center, because Kendrick Green was god-awful last year at it. And it's very good they got a decent replacement. Is he the one from Chicago?
James Daniels.
Okay, so James Daniels is the one from Chicago. Okay, I always get those two mixed up. I don't know why. But yeah, so James Daniels from Chicago, he's going to be excellent. There's a reason why he's getting paid almost $9 million per year.
Okay. So. Moving on, sticking with defense at this point, you got defensive end Gennard Avery from Philly, $1.18 million contract.
Trying to pull up his statistics here. Come on. Mouse is screwing up at the moment. Okay, so he played a full season. Started 12 out of the 16 games, but he did play in every game. 42 tackles, 1 sack. So statistically speaking, I do not see him being a starter. It's probably going to be Isaiah Loudermilk. If I'm being honest. But I don't know. Depends. Like I said, training camp, a lot of surprises happen, but so far it's probably going to be Loudermilk taking over Gerard Avery.
Okay. 2 corners got picked up on this free agency year. One was a re-signing. One was brought in from Buffalo, both with the same contract stipulations, 2 years, $8 million. But you got Akello Witherspoon and Levi Wallace.
I like Akello Witherspoon. He has plenty of potential to become an elite corner if he continues with good training. Levi Wallace, on the other hand, he is definitely not a replacement to Joe Hayden. Yeah, I think we're going to have a lot of trouble there in the corner aspect. But I guess when you have Minkah Fitzpatrick, you're allowed to kind of press. So they got Levi Wallace, a guy who's very good at pressing. Obviously, they're going to trust Minkah to fill in and back up his corners. So they're going to let Minkah be a playmaker, be a Troy. We're going to see if it works.
Okay. And then we got one more here that you briefly touched on already, but a 3-year deal for $15.75 million to the former Minnesota Vikings center, Mason Cole.
Yeah, no, I think that's an excellent signing. They definitely needed to, if I believe that's the center we're talking about, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, they definitely need to replace Kendrick Green there. They do like Kendrick Green, but they realize that why are we putting a guy who's played guard his whole life? Now we're going to make him play center for a season and realize he sucks at it. He's not used to it. I'm telling you, it's way different. He just he couldn't handle it. Now they're going to put him at guard. They're going to put James Daniels on the other side at guard, and that's why they got Mason Cole. They wanted an actual center with experience and who's seasoned at it.
Okay. I like the takeaways.
They definitely sealed the line.
No, I mean, look, they're not above average. They're all a bunch of average guys, and that's all they need is average protection for a pocket style, not pocket. What's it called? A scrambling quarterback. Whether it's Mitch running around out there or it's Kenny, all you need is average blocking. Make sure these guys are getting enough time to look for the first 3 seconds, and if not, they can run out.
All right. Now we're going to take a different route here with the part that I'm more excited to talk about here because there's a few guys in here that I'm really liking. But we're going to go backwards. We're going to start with the end of the draft and work our way forwards. 7th round, pick number 241 overall, the South Dakota State quarterback, Chris Oladokun.
This is probably just somebody to fill in the practice squad, if I have to be honest. 7th round's usually a throwaway. Well, they decided to take up an extra quarterback. Just a practice squad fill-in. I don't see him ever getting a shot at being a starter ever. It's probably going to be 3 years and done, unless they get a job somewhere else.
Do you see the potential for him to beat out Mason Rudolph for that 3rd string spot?
Absolutely not. Little to no chance. Adam, what do you think?
They love Mason Rudolph for some.
That's what I mean. Little to no chance. Dude, he has to basically be perfect if he wants to beat out Mason.
Maybe Matt Canada don't like him.
I don't know. Again, a 7th round pick usually a throwaway.
Because that we drafted 2 quarterbacks. That should have been a huge message to the whole quarterback crew.
Yeah,
that's just my opinion on that. That should have been a huge message. Why are we drafting 2 quarterbacks? We have 2 quarterbacks. You know what I mean?
Right, maybe one, but the fact that they did two is basically saying, like, look, even Mason's not safe. I think they're just trying to make Mason scared a little bit, a little bit of motivation, probably.
All right. Moving forward in the 7th round from the 241st pick to the 225th, linebacker out of Ole Miss, Mark Robinson.
Hey, good luck to him. Obviously, they needed depth for that position. I'm sorry, I did not pay attention past like the 5th round.
I mean, it's just adding depth. That's all I looked at it too.
I mean, like,
but who knows? I mean, Kevin Colbert, this was his final draft. He does have an eye for linebackers. So maybe they saw something in this guy and said, hey, this might be. But I don't know.
Yeah, he has an eye for linebackers, except for Jarvis Jones. So just forget about him.
That was a bad experience.
Jason Worlds left because he wanted to be a Jehovah's Witness. So that was a weird way to go out. He had a religious calling. I mean, hey, that just happened with another player, the Colts guy. That happened with another one.
Really?
He quit due to religion. Yeah, it was I believe it was a defensive back, if I remember. That just happened like a month ago. I saw on Instagram.
Okay. I'll need to look into that.
He's not that big of a player. You know what I mean? He's like a 4th string or 5th string corner, but like he just retired because he had a religious calling for God, which is fine. Nothing wrong with it, but I think it's just weird you'd throw away millions for that.
All right.
Yeah.
So we're not seeing much out of him. Okay. Round 6 was an interesting take. I don't know how many times we actually get to see two brothers playing on the same team in professional sports, unless your last name is Stahl in the NHL. But the 6th round pick for Pittsburgh at number 208, they took Cameron Hayward's younger brother Connor from Michigan State, halfback and tight end.
I think it's clear-cut nepotism, and that's all right with me. Hey, it is what it is. You got to keep the vets happy. Maybe they'll stay for another year at a discount, right? When it comes contract time. It is what it is. I mean, like, these guys know what they're doing. I mean, look, it helped TJ Watt stay here for another couple seasons, all right?
Wait,
right.
They have both Watt brothers now?
Oh, they had Derek.
Yeah, Derek. They got Derek like a season ago, and that helped with the negotiations.
And I guarantee they were hoping, because JJ was the free agent last year, right before he went to Arizona. They were hoping to bring his ass in here too.
Yeah,
sure.
they're trying to get the trio of Watts here, and that would be dope because that is just a marketing dream to happen. If it does, I mean, granted, one's a fullback, so he's kind of like the guy that's like in the background.
He's a special teams guy too.
That's what I mean. Like, he's just in the background, just faded away.
But it's like, hey, you can go play with your brothers.
Dude, both of them on defense would be a trip. I mean, in a 3-4 defense, what would have to happen? JJ would have to figure out how to play outside linebacker to be a pass rusher. I mean, unless he wants to be an interior lineman, it's just harder to get sacks that way.
Yeah, I don't know why. Maybe that's why they didn't pressure to bring him here, because they weren't sure what to do with him.
And he's too slow to be an outside linebacker. I mean, you have.
That's what I mean. Like they didn't know what to do to get him here.
Right. I mean, unless. Well, I guess in nickel you could do T.J. Watt and J.J. Watt as the outer defenders. Yeah, in nickel that would make sense. But he would just play in nickel.
But you're not going to spend that much money just to be on third down.
Right. I mean, yeah, just on second and third downs, I don't know, man. You're expected to play every down.
Right, at that kind of money.
Yeah, right. And if I'm the Steelers, I'm probably not going to make that investment unless he wants to get paid like veteran minimum. Maybe I'll consider it.
He was still young in his career, so he knew he wasn't going to be taking that.
Yeah, hell no, man. Unless I can get him at a discount, no way I'm signing him.
He's like, look, I trained with my brothers off season. Who joined them this year in their one of the Steelers went and joined them in their training facility in Wisconsin. Was that Leatherfoot or Jesus?
It wasn't Jesus, I'll tell you that much.
Yeah.
It might have been with the way these boys play football.
Right?
No, I think they're hoping Jesus comes to pay them a visit at their practice facility down on the south side.
Yeah, they definitely need that. Oh my God, Southside's becoming a shithole. For being honest, as Pittsburghers for a minute.
Yeah, it's
I have not been to the South Side.
It's a shooting every other day now. It's getting that bad.
it makes me.
We're becoming Chicago here in a minute.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think our south side still leagues better than Chicago south side.
Yeah, but
Excuse
I'm
me.
telling you, statistically, it's going to get there in the next 5 years at this pace. We need to figure something out.
This is why I'm glad that when I do go into Pittsburgh to drink, I'm usually going to either the Mount or Dormont.
Yeah, don't go to the Southside Flats as if you're listening to this as an
I
outsider.
was just shooting there last night, wasn't
Yeah, see,
I know we're
Southside
not supposed to be
Flats.
talking
Do not
news,
go on
but
East Carson Street past 8 o'clock at night.
I saw
And that's your advice.
that news on Newsweek or whatever it was. Something popped up on my phone about Southside last night. But anyway, let's get back.
It's scary living 15 minutes away from that too.
All right, so the Steelers took Hayward in the 6th. They did not have a 5th round pick. Pick round number 4. It looks like they had 1, and they used that pick at number 138 for the Memphis wide receiver Calvin Austin III.
I thought that was an excellent pick. Very fast receiver. He's going to be a deep threat. Realistically,
6'3", ain't he?
What's that?
He's tall, ain't he?
Yeah, he's like 6'3", I think, right?
That's what I thought. I thought I saw 6'3". I don't have that. I don't have that information in front of me.
No.
Okay, hold on.
No, Austin is 5'8", 170, but can run a 40 in 4.32.
Yeah, so I think realistically he's going to be a 4th string receiver. He's going to be in deep passing situations. 5 wide sets, 4 wide sets. Spread is probably what they're going to use him in. Definitely a deep threat. He's definitely going to, his longest catch is probably going to be 70-plus yards. We all know that's coming with him.
I apparently value him a little bit more than you do. I think Pittsburgh replaced number 1 and number 3 with this draft.
Yeah.
Because honestly, we'll get more on to the other one later, but I think Pittsburgh's depth order for right receivers this year is going to be Pickens as number 1, Johnson at number 2, and Austin at number 3.
Johnson values himself as a number 1 receiver, and I think Tomlin sees him as the same way. Unfortunately speaking for me, Tomlin sees Johnson as a number 1. I don't know why. Adam's probably thinking, I don't know why either.
He also has Mason Rudolph still on this team.
Well, he's going to be the 3rd string, and he's not getting 3rd string money. He's getting backup money. That's what I find funny. We could definitely be spending that elsewhere.
But I don't know. I don't know. I feel Mason's not the best backup for Pittsburgh.
Another funny news, Baker's a Panther. Anyway.
Yeah, that's I can't wait till I can figure out my Cleveland and Carolina fans for that one.
That's good.
Sorry.
And
Carolina.
And that is the week 1 matchup.
That's even funnier.
Cleveland plays Carolina the opening
smack
week.
Jacoby Brissett.
Wait a minute. Wait. How the fuck does Carolina pull that off 2 years in a row? Where they bring in
the Jets and Carolina.
Where their opening week matchup is against the team that they just sniped the quarterback from.
Yeah, Sam Darnold just did that.
Because last year, the week 1 matchup after the Jets traded Darnold away to Carolina, the opening week matchup on that one was Jets versus Carolina. Now Carolina get trades for Baker, and now Baker's old team, the Browns, are their week 1 matchup. How the fuck did they pull that off 2 years in a row?
Is Baker going to be the starter?
In Carolina? Fuck yeah.
Oh, yeah, he is. Not only is he going to start, I think he's going to have a career resurgence in the NFC. You mark my words.
You think he's going to give that the NFC South a run?
Yeah, NFC South a run, dude. Tom Brady's going to get lit up by Baker. Mark my words, dude. I was a true believer in Baker. I was like the only Steeler fan that thought he was good.
Oh, shit. Um,
You're
Baker
making
to
me
the
shit a brick right now, all right?
Panthers.
I mean, Ben
Actually,
Roethlisberger owned the home record until Baker beat it.
That's what I mean. I mean, Baker is better than us. What Steeler fans think. I like when Steeler fans rip on him. I'm like, he's actually better.
I'm
than
not ripping on him. I like Baker Mayfield personally
No,
myself.
but like
I
that
mean,
Ben's last home game. You know, everyone thought Baker was like the worst thing since like Adolf Hitler showed up in the planet. But
looking at Pittsburgh's current depth chart at quarterback, I would say Baker Mayfield would be an improvement over anybody that they have on their squad right now.
yeah, he is an improvement. I see Carolina having a decent record this year because of that addition. Now, definitely.
And honestly, I just had to double check my list here. That actually does slightly change. Baker going to Carolina does slightly change.
Yeah, I was gonna say them early predictions might be little botched now that we did on the Talking Sports with show.
You know, trades come out of nowhere. You know,
That's why
honestly, no, it actually doesn't change my it doesn't change the end record. It just changes a couple of the wins and losses around.
Let's see. I mean, I don't think Deshaun Watson ever plays a game again, if I'm being honest. Real quick off topic.
I don't know. Looking at the fact that the NFL has offered a settlement offer of 8-game suspension makes me think that they don't have faith in the judge that's that's presiding over this trial. So I can see Deshaun getting suspended for 6 or less.
It's me, baby. Come on. Come here.
Excuse my dog barking.
I know, yeah. You got a new addition too, huh?
That's quite all right. That's quite all right. I was about to yell at Adam to tell Phoenix to shut up because I thought it was her.
No, I thought it was too at first. I was like, oh shit, my dog's barking.
Nope, my dog was barking at my fiance for no reason.
Eric just got a new addition to the family.
Yeah,
Got another
Ginger,
dog.
a 1.5-year-old golden retriever as well, just like my 3-year-old, and bad, really bad. But it's okay. She's been a lot better since she first came, so we're getting there. It's a slow process.
All right, we're gonna move up to the 3rd round, the 84th overall pick out of Texas A&M, defensive lineman Marvin Leal.
I'm trying to find it. Hold on.
We all moved to the computer to look up stuff.
It looks like he might be
O'Neal. See, that's a guy that's not coming up on mine.
DeMarvin Leal. It's looking like they might be.
Oh, Leal. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, it's pronounced Leal?
Yeah. You draft a guy at that value because you want him to start. Because they weren't so sure about Stephon Tuitt. And they were right.
They were right.
So, yeah, he is probably going to take over Tuitt's spot. If I had to take a guess.
That's what it's looking like. And you know what? They definitely need to add some younger players on their line because their 2 top defensive linemen are both on the wrong side of 30, with Cam Hayward being 32 and Tyson Alualu being 34. They need to look for the future on their defensive line. And I think Leal, coming out of a dominant school like Texas A&M, might fill that void.
No, I think it will too. There was the new addition there for a couple seconds. There you go. All right. Good job, Ginger.
You got to see the dog. All right.
He has to be the starter. That's why you pick him.
So we got 2 more picks to talk about here. Now, the one that, even though I'm not a Steelers fan, if I were wanting to root for the Steelers, the pick that I would be the most excited about,
Pickens.
2nd round pick, number 52 overall. And I believe he was the second receiver taken off the board. But coming out of Georgia, George Pickens. I definitely see this guy. Like, I don't watch a lot of college ball, but I did go back and watch some tape on this guy after the pick. And I will say, Pittsburgh got a steal at 52. This dude, seeing the way he's able to not only have defensive awareness to know where the guys are around him coming to take his head off, to be able to catch the ball and immediately twist into stride and tear off the way he does, I see him definitely being your go-to number one receiver.
Pickens. I only have one concern. I'm sure Adam's thinking the exact same thing. He was one of the biggest head cases in Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
He would complain a lot. We're getting another diva coming in, like an Antonio Brown.
We're so good at it.
Mike Tomlin was very good at calming Antonio Brown last time. Obviously that worked out.
I mean, I've made the joke that with Tomlin being able to put up with Antonio Brown's bullshit for 8 seasons, just that accolade alone deserves him a Hall of Fame spot.
Probably. I guess for the Hall of Fame for patience, yes. Probably not football, but for patience, yes.
I mean, you want to go for football. Right now, he is the third
He's
best
the greatest
win
coach
percentage.
to have the most mediocre seasons.
He has the third best overall career winning percentage of all coaches in the league. The only two that have him beat are Dallas head coach Mike McCarthy and a little guy
Another coach that's only won one championship with all them wins, but no championships to show for it.
No, this dude has 6 championships.
Mike
rings.
McCarthy.
Oh no! I was saying I'd remove on from Mike McCarthy. The only guy the only other name that has Mike Tomlin beat on career win-loss percentage and has had a longer career than either McCarthy or Tomlin, a little guy up in New England by the name of Bill Belichick.
We all saw that stat. The Patriots, what was it for the last 20 years, had a 750. The Steelers were right behind them. That had to be regular season. That couldn't have been everything. But Joffrey, just to let you know, Pickens was not the second wide receiver taken in the draft.
How many? I know Wilson was the first.
Olave. There was like 5 receivers taken up to that point.
No,
just in round 2, there was Taquan Thornton going out of Baylor to the Patriots. John Mechie the third out of Alabama going to the Texans. Wandale Robinson out of Kentucky going to the Giants, and then Christian Watson went to the Packers to try and fill that Devontae Adams loss. And then also Trevelyan Burks went. I think that's really I still think that's who the Packers really wanted. He was really a Devontae Adams type of player. And then Johan Dotson out of Penn State went to the Commanders at 16. Jameis Williams, Alabama, went to the Lions. And then Chris Olave went to the Saints at the 11th pick. Garrett Wilson went to the 10th overall. And then Drake London went to the 8th pick, the Atlanta Falcons.
Okay, so he went a bit late. He was a bit later on in the pool than I thought he was. But honestly, with the
nice
talent level and what I've seen from him on tapes, I wouldn't have been surprised had Pickens had been the first receiver taken. Dude's a beast.
But he had that diva, and a lot of teams didn't want that.
Let's see if Pittsburgh's able to break the recent track record with this guy, because, I mean, come on, your past 4 number ones have all been idiots. Between Antonio Brown and just being a complete head case, Juju Smith-Schuster.
Shit, same thing.
Who is more concerned with trending on TikTok than he was catching the ball.
And also fucking animated cartoon characters. That was weird. Smasher pass.
That was really weird.
I was a little uncomfortable. I was scared. I was hiding all day. I would occasionally peek around the corner to see if the weirdness was gone. It wasn't.
All right.
There the whole day.
Then you move on to Chase Claypool.
I don't think he was the number 1 last year. I think that was Johnson. Johnson was our number 1.
Well, Johnson was the next name I was going to say, because they were both equally prevalent on the team, and both of them have their issues between
Drops.
Claypool and his excessive celebrating after mediocre plays.
And just how dumb he is at the fact that he doesn't realize what he's doing is stupid. That's what I find funny too.
I mean, at
He's
the
just
same
inept
time,
to it. He's inept to it. He doesn't realize what he's doing is dumb.
I mean, I think we can all say Claypool takes a page out of has definitely been taking a few lessons at the Mike Tomlin School of Clock Management.
No, I just think he just takes a couple plays out of the book of selfishness. I mean, it is what it is. The guy that has one successful play, and he's there to make highlights for his mom and dad back at home and all of his friends. He don't care about the team and the city and winning.
And then the fourth name, I was going to say Deontay Johnson, who I'm sorry, I just picture that guy and his performance and the fact that he's trying to push for more money and to be pretty much glorified as the Pittsburgh's number one. Who does he's got the Ryback mentality of feed me more, whether he can catch the shit or not.
Yeah, he is holding out for a lot of money here. Because he sees what Devontae Adams is getting, what Cooper Kupp is getting, and something in his brain that's telling him that he's about the same value or close to these guys. I don't know what's going on. Maybe it was too many headshots going over the years. But he's like, hey, I think I'm right around their skill level, duh, and now he's arguing that he's the number one guy. He deserves number one money on this team. I think he needs to lay off the pipe a little bit. Stop smoking so much. I don't know what he has, but I want some of it. Sounds good.
He's got a lot of money.
But no. Deontay Johnson needs to realize that he is not. I don't even think he's close to being a top 15 receiver.
So just curious, where would you take him in a fantasy draft? What round would you target him?
Okay. So where I value him is probably between a 6th to 10th round pick. Probably in a fantasy league. It's like he's mid tier for fantasy.
But he's got to be higher than that with his targets if you're in a one catch league. If you get a point per catch.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm talking about regular fantasy leagues, not that. I'm talking what the more popular fantasy league score. Yeah,
a half PPR.
Yes.
Okay, well, so if he gets 11 catches and he gets extra 6.5 points,
be 5.5. But go ahead.
Whatever, I'm not really, but I mean that value just makes it go up that much more because we don't.
we
don't lose any value for a drop pass.
Maybe.
We don't lose any.
If he does get that production, which I don't think he will, that's why I have him there. I don't think realistically he is going to get that. I think it's going to go to a Calvin Austin or a George Pickens. I think it will. I'm with Joffrey on that. But yeah, if he would get the 11 targets per game or 15 targets, some crazy amount per game like the elite receivers do, then yeah, I would take him like 2nd or 5th. Or 2nd or 4th.
I'm looking here really quick since we do run a half PPR league and somebody in our league is using Deontay Johnson as a keeper.
Okay. So they are investing in him that he is going to be okay for him.
Yes. Actually, the before I go any further with that, Eric ended up winning this league last year. I came in 4th place. The person that is using Deontay as their keeper is the person that came in 3rd.
Okay.
But they are keeping, it's a 14-team league. They are using Deontay Johnson as a keeper for the 4th pick of the 4th round.
I think that's good value in a keeper league right there.
Yeah.
Especially with 14 teams.
It depends on how he does statistically. If he plays up to the money,
and you get to cheer for your homer.
It depends. We'll see. I mean, this person's obviously banking on him succeeding. That's why you would keep him in the 4th spot. So we'll see.
I'm looking to whip all your assets.
I would say no. I don't bank on him doing well. Look, if we were valuing drops, then I would draft him first. But unfortunately, we don't value drops in football. So no.
Would that be like assisted first base?
Pretty much. Well, somebody was trying to tell me that we should use defense in baseball, and if that was the case, then first basemen are just going to be your whole entire roster.
It would be.
You can't do that. You have to go by hitting, unfortunately.
My team sucks.
Fantasy on that.
I gave
I'm not
up
going to
after
say who it was, but
I gave up after the 4th week between a mixture of the pitching scoring making no fucking sense and the fact that in general I don't follow baseball enough or am not a big enough baseball fan to.
So you're
warrant
open to me
wanting
trying to get a
attention?
replacement team for you, or just get someone else to take it over.
Yeah, find somebody else to take the team next year because I ain't doing it again.
I'm saying like mid-season right now.
Mid-season, you're fucking already at like week 14 out of 22.
I know.
Fuck it, do a fire sale. I don't give a shit.
Do a fire sale.
Do you want my pitcher that's worth -5 every game?
I mean, somebody will want Manny Machado.
I know. I just hate seeing that talent sit there like Garrett Cole.
Yeah, but every time he takes the hill, he's not that good always for our fantasy keeping points.
Yeah, maybe not for our fantasy. I do
Let's
definitely
rephrase that. I love Garrett Cole.
I need to for sure edit the pitching scoring. It is very unpredictable.
One day your pitcher could be worth 38, the next day worth -38.
I know, man. Like that's the thing, though. Like you do get rewarded for them having great games, and when they have bad games, you do get punished. I like it.
All right.
Yeah.
Anyways, back to the Steelers.
Got to gamble on them.
Which I can't believe I can't believe that's a sentence that came out of my mouth because
that's what happens when we're a podcast. Sometimes words come out of your mouth that you don't like.
Because generally I am the last person on earth that wants to talk about the Steelers, but right now back to talking about the Steelers. And now is where we're going to bring up that last free agency signing.
Yeah.
You mean draft pick?
No, free agency signing first. But the other name that I omitted when we went over that is because it's going to be a hell of a debate here between the depth chart between the two men that I'm about to discuss. During the free agency, honestly, I think it was the first move Pittsburgh made in free agency. But from the Buffalo Bills backup bench, they signed Mitch Trubisky. A lot of people were thinking he's hands down going to be their starter. I didn't have that opinion on that signing. I think it was a bit more up for there to be a shootout in preseason between him and the departed Dwayne Haskins. However, Mitch Trubisky as the starter now is back in question because of the man that they drafted as the first quarterback off of the board in this year's draft at number 20 overall out of Pitt. You know, the team that already plays at Heinz Field, the New Jersey boy, Kenny Pickett.
We basically adopted him into the Pittsburgh family now. He's basically a Pittsburgher. He says yins and at, he's a Pittsburgher. Now, so being here for so long, you start to take in the language, Nah, I love Kenny Pickett, man. I'm not gonna lie, I did hate him at first because he would his pocket, his sense of the pocket pressure, like he stands in the pocket for 2 seconds, gets petrified and runs out. And that was a common theme with him throughout, him playing at Pitt, and I would get constantly frustrated. And it seemed like they worked with him well because now he is definitely, instead of 2 seconds, now he's waiting 3.5. So now, hey, he's staying in that pocket longer, looking for that receiver. I like it. How's that going to translate in Matt Canada's offense? Well, Matt Canada actually did get to coach Kenny Pickett for about a season in Pitt. So he's familiar with him. So I think I could see Joffrey's argument in the sense that, he's probably going to push for Kenny Pickett to be a starter because he's familiar with him. Yeah, I could probably see that argument. But I could also see the argument that it is Mike Tomlin's team. And I think he'll also go with Mitch Trubisky. So I don't know. It depends who's got more pull in that situation. But I think it's going to be Mitch.
I mean, yes, Tomlin is the head coach, but with who builds the offensive schemes? Your offensive coordinator. If Canada is planning on building his playbook based off of the strengths of Kenny Pickett, which I guarantee you is what he's doing, because they're already familiar. Canada already knows Pickett's strengths. He already knows what Pickett's weaknesses are. He knows what plays Pickett can run successfully, which plays are fucking suicide. Yep. I've got the take that Kenny Pickett is hands down Pittsburgh's day one starter.
I do too.
You know what? I just, after the argument I just said, because this is Matt Canada's offense, and he did have a season and a half, I think, or like a season or two. I can't remember if it was 1 season or 2 seasons, but he was the OC at Pitt.
That's where we need that. That's where we need our other co-host to be here. He knows Pitt pretty well.
Yeah, the other co-host at Shark Sports. Yeah, he's another Pitt fan like myself. I mean, so he's familiar with Kenny Pickett. That's the whole point I'm trying to make. After saying that, and what Joffrey just said, I think I just got convinced that Kenny Pickett would probably be the starter day one.
Wow, you actually convinced someone to be a Steelers new starter, Joff. How do you feel about this?
I don't know. I mean, it kind of makes sense. It kind of just lined up that way perfectly, right?
It will suck for Pittsburgh though with this situation, as Pickett being your starter, because of the fact that the 2 years that they signed Trubisky for, they are going to be paying their their first backup, second string quarterback, whatever you want to call him. They are going to be paying their backup $7.5 million a year for the next 2 years.
That seems to be a thing anymore. The backups are making mad money.
I know, right? Ain't that awesome? I want to make money sitting on the bench.
I mean, right now Cleveland looks like a genius signing Deshaun Watson to $1 million for year one, because that left them money to go out and bring in Jacoby Brissett. Or
right. If that's all it is an 8-game suspension. I mean, if they could just take 4,
you could live on Jacoby Brissett for 8 games.
They just need to win 4 out of 8, and I think they'll do okay.
They do look like geniuses for getting Deshaun for $1 million for the first year, but they look like complete and utter morons for the fact that when they traded Baker Mayfield to Carolina, they kept themselves on the hook for $10 million out of Baker's 18.
Oh yeah, they're basically paying Baker to play against them.
The Baker Mayfield trade
play against them. That's what I find funny.
I'm shaking my head because I'd say between how much they gave up to bring in Deshaun and what they just gave up to fucking get rid of Baker, Cleveland has themselves in a very precarious situation, because to bring in Deshaun Watson, they gave up what? 3 firsts, a third, and a fifth? They got their 5th back by trading Baker to Carolina, but they are also still paying $10 million of Baker's salary. Carolina agreed to pay Baker $5 million for the first year. The whole deal for Baker to move to Carolina, he also agreed to take $3.5 million less than what he would have been doing in Cleveland. So instead of making $18.5 million this year, he's only going to be making $15 million.
So it was part of the agreement to live in the stadium?
At home with Baker Mayfield, I guess.
I'm going to miss those commercials.
No. Here's the next commercial. He's moving out of that stadium and moving.
Is he using the Mayfield trucks?
Yes, he's going to be like, "Come on, honey, we're moving to Carolina."
There was a meme out there with the Mayfield truck moving them. Did you guys see that?
Where did you leave my tampons, Bake? I don't know. And they're like looking throughout the seats and shit.
I think it's in bathroom 346.
I think I left the TV up at like section 300 or something. I don't know. It's like up there. I don't know.
We get new seats. They're blue and black now.
Yeah. Look, we have a new blue and black, outlook on our new home. What do you think? I like the last colors better. I know.
I'm gonna miss those commercials. Hopefully they find a way
Dude,
to
you
keep
know
him
how
up.
much, you know how many opportunities you have if they allow him to have like a moving out segment for Progressive? That'd be hilarious.
They're
I
not.
mean,
Moving.
Progressive was endorsing Baker more than they were the Browns. So I think as long as his relationship with Progressive is still solid, they
But
will probably carry.
Progressive base rate out of Cleveland now. Their headquarters.
I mean, look,
is
if
right
they're
there.
paying Cleveland to rent the space, they don't care. Yeah, of course they're gonna let fucking Baker step on, you know.
Okay, so it's going to switch from at home with Baker Mayfield to at home with Deshaun Watson. Let me out!
Give me a massage.
Yeah, no, they're not. It's only Baker, so.
All right, let me rephrase that. At home with Deshaun Watson. No means no.
At home with Deshaun Watson. Yeah, I just want a massage.
How many? We're not going to get into that. But you know, how many happy endings and that is always offered on all these sites,
times?
all these people, all these chicks. They're all like happy endings. Like,
Hey, there's a massage parlor on 51 that might want to have a word or two with the FBI. I mean, I'm not going to say what one it is.
There's a couple.
I've heard a lot about it.
The FBI took one down next to our pizza shop.
Yes, they did.
And they came in into our shop asking for boxes to put all the files in.
Damn.
There was more files than ever.
Sad part is he's not lying.
We
were all of the drivers that night were lined up outside the back door watching and laughing.
Yeah.
While I was at school, there was a raid on the motel next door. They were found for prostitution, drug smuggling.
Good stuff.
Yeah, dude. Trafficking. A lot of those women were kidnapped.
Where do you go to school? Up by the Pittsburgh Motel on Steubenville Pike?
No, Rosedale Technical College, right there, right by, kind of like up the street from McKees Rocks.
McKees Rocks.
Now we're talking about.
Yeah, but that's just down the street. It's like 5 minutes down the street from McKees Rocks.
McKees
It's in
Rocks.
Kennedy Township, but really it's like McKees Rocks because they're just down the street.
Like I said, McKees Rocks. Say no more.
Yep, I know. Dude, oh my God, man. The crackheads be walking up and down the one street constantly, man.
And I'll say this much.
I be locking the doors.
I'll say this much. Crackheads today ain't what they used to be.
No.
They
get mad at you if they're like, yo, you got $5? No, they get mad as hell. Dude, they want to punch you, dude.
Man, I miss the days back in like the 90s when we were kids where you could pay a crackhead $20 and he'd freaking paint your whole damn house.
Oh, they still do that. My dad hires them all the time.
Nowadays, these crackheads want your money and they don't want to do shit for it.
No,
that is true. A lot, no, my dad's landscape company. It's all he does is hire drug addicts, and that's exactly what happens. So they'll no show like 3 days straight.
They get
you front me $40. I'm Johnny on the spot. I'm always there. You can rely on me. A bullshit. Like, show up to work, dude.
All right, now let's break down. Do you have a printout of Pittsburgh's schedule in front of you, Eric?
Hell no, but I can look it up.
Did we not do Pittsburgh's schedule? No, we did not do the NFC, AFC, whatever.
AFC North or the North there, bud.
I don't think y'all did the East either because I
no
on that one.
No, I got sidetracked into other
slacker.
Oh, I wouldn't call it slacking. I would just call it off the page, I guess I would say.
But anyways,
let me get my schedule real quick, guys. It's in the folder.
Eric, I'm going to give you a minute to go through that to figure out what your wins and losses are and what you see as the final record for the Steelers. But I see them. I'm going off of if they win the games that they should, and they only lose the game, and they lose the and they lose the games that they shouldn't have a chance in.
It's good today, Junior.
I know this probably won't be accurate by the end of the season because Pittsburgh has a weird way of playing up to and down to their opponents.
But
I
was about to say that.
I think Pittsburgh is looking at the first losing season of the Mike Tomlin era, and I see them going 6-11.
Ooh. Ooh, why regression after all them signings? Draft picks? Is it the quarterback?
Large part of it, yes.
Okay, I can see that. Yeah, new guy at the helm, first time in like 20,000 years. I get it. It's a lot of question marks.
I will say the 6 wins that I see them getting.
Yes.
Week 2 versus New England.
Okay.
Week 3 at Cleveland. Week 7 at Miami. Week 12 at Indianapolis. Week 13 at Atlanta. And week 18 versus Cleveland.
So even if Deshaun Watson's back for the January 8th game.
Yes.
Interesting.
Because Pittsburgh does have a good pass defense. They might not be able to stop Kareem Hunt or Nick Chubb too much, but I can see them doing a great job of shutting down the connection with Deshaun Watson and Amari Cooper.
I would definitely say the Steelers lose week 1 against Cincinnati.
I have them losing.
I would just say the Steelers would beat New England just because I don't think Mac Jones is that good to begin with.
No.
He's overrated for sure.
Not to mention when Tom went south, so did New England.
Yes, I know. No, they're not the same team, man. They are going to be a shell of themselves and go 9-8, 8-9, 7-10. You know, it's going to be those kind of seasons for a while. I think Bill Belichick's going to be just an average team for a while. Yes, the Steelers will beat the Browns. That'll be 2-1 so far. They did beat the Jets. They're 3-1. Now here we go. The Steelers fans are going to say Super Bowl bound. I'm going to tell them to calm down because then they're going to lose to Buffalo. They're not going to strike lightning twice.
I have them losing to Tampa Bay the following week too.
They will lose. Yeah, yep. They will lose to Tampa.
I do have them beating Miami.
That's going to be a tough one. That one's going to depend on injuries and all that. But if I had to go with the fully healthy Steelers, I'd say the Steelers would win.
Can I ask a question here?
Yeah.
No.
Looking at the moves that both teams have made this year and honestly last year as well, why are you giving Miami Tua Tagovailoa more credit than you are
Tyreek Hill? That's right.
Tyreek Hill, Chase Edmonds. Then they still have Waddle. They still have Gesicki. They still have their running backs. Miami's going to be decent.
But they've got
I did forget about Tyreek Hill, and with the horrible defensive back situation the Steelers have, yeah, I can see Miami probably stealing one. I don't think Minka's gonna be able to hold them off forever in that game.
I don't think so. Yeah, they have a great receiving core, but Tua Tagovailoa is way below average, and they've got no offensive line, and their defense is porous. Pittsburgh's going to fucking run all over Miami. The Jets, however, I see with how much improvement they've made in the 2 past years, everybody's sleeping on them, but I think the Jets are going to end up being a contender this year. I see Pittsburgh losing to New York, winning Miami.
Wow, you give the Jets a lot more credit than I think a lot of people would. I don't know if that's biasness, but hey, that's okay.
I have the Jets at 9-8.
Oh wow!
And we filled this out.
That's basically the new 500 season.
And we filled this out before I filled this out before the draft.
I thought we did this right after the draft.
Did we do it after? I don't remember.
Interesting.
But then I do have the Steelers losing to Jalen Hurts, who could be an MVP candidate. And then we go into the bye.
Okay, yeah. So what we got?
So do we have Philly? Are we all unanimous about Pittsburgh losing to Philly?
I can go check. Don't do this. I can go check. I wrote them all down.
Because at this point, I think we all pretty much are, other than the order of the wins losses. I think we've all pretty much got Pittsburgh at 3-5 going into the bye week.
You know what? That's a really tough game. Again, that's another toss-up of the Eagles and the Steelers. I guess I'm gonna have to go with the Eagles on that one. I think the Eagles will win that.
I have them at 3-4 right now.
Oh, hi, buddy. Hi.
But then I see them turning it around after the bye.
Wait, how do you have them at 3-4 when there's 8 games before the bye?
Because we go into the bye week at 8, don't we?
Yeah, so that would be 3-5.
Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so 4-4. Going into the bye. I'm sorry.
Okay.
My fault.
Okay, so me and Eric are scoring 3-5. You got them 4-4. Okay. So bye week, I don't see them beating Nola or Cincy.
I haven't beaten New Orleans and Cincy.
I could see them beating New Orleans. I don't see them beating Cincinnati. I think they're gonna get smacked twice again.
Okay, see now the field's opening up because now I've got them at 3-7. Adams apparently got them at 6-4, and Eric brings it up to 4-6.
See, like I said, mediocre. Like I said, them 4 wins, you see greatness. Like you see the potential. But the 6 losses, you're like, holy shit, those are the areas they need work on. You're going to see that. Which is fine. All mediocre teams have that, and they have to get the right pieces. So.
Okay. I do see Pittsburgh picking up another 2 wins in a row here with Indy and Atlanta.
I'm in agreement as well, so you can chalk on 2 more wins for me.
I have win-win.
Okay. Now they're back. Now they're at their first matchup, this time at home against Baltimore. And I've got them taking an L.
I would say the Steelers win this matchup.
Where are we at?
The week
13?
Week 14 versus Baltimore.
Okay, I have them winning.
Okay, week 15 versus at Carolina. I had Pittsburgh penciled in to win this game prior to the Baker Mayfield trade. However, this one is getting switched from a win to a loss. I think Baker's going to be the extra piece that Carolina needs to actually turn into a decent team. He's a lot better of a quarterback than Darnold or versus at Carolina.
Sorry, I was just seeing how far it was behind.
I definitely see Baker as a way better quarterback than Darnold or at this point in his career, Cam Newton. And I definitely see Baker having the experience edge and being able to outperform any one of Pittsburgh's quarterbacks.
No, I think Tomlin's going to plan a defensive scheme to maintain the same dominance over Baker like he always has in the regular season.
I'm with you on this one.
Yeah, no, he's definitely going to have a win. He knows how to scheme against Baker. He's done it very well, except for one playoff game, and that's because the offense was booty in that playoff game. That's what it was. Okay, is what it is, and plus, that's how you get 28 points in the first quarter, I guess. Offensive turnovers. So, it is what it is. Baker got lucky in that one game. I do think Baker's good, but he is horrendous against the Steelers.
One game, Baker beat him 2 weeks in a row.
But one game wasn't.
Well,
against,
that one game
wasn't against
playing, and because they didn't have to. So one game's a throwaway, and the other one's a playoff game. That just the offense decided to just not show up at all.
All right. Week 16 versus Vegas.
I have them winning because I think there's going to be a lot too much emotion on the Steelers side, being the 50th reunion for the Immaculate Reception. I think the Steelers just end up winning this game.
I have to disagree. I think the Raiders are such a better team than the Steelers.
I actually agree with Eric on this one.
Nah, the Raiders are just more equipped than the Steelers. It is what it is, man. That defense is looking good. One of the best offenses in the league. Definitely for fantasy, you have to look at the receiving core, and you have to look at their tight end, Darren Waller. They're just a stacked team, man. A good running back, too. Definitely have a deep playoff run. I think the Chiefs are going to have a run for their money against with the Raiders this year. But
I think that whole division might have three wild card teams.
I also want to point out
that West.
The fact that you've got probably one of the best locker room leaders under center in that, one of the best locker room leaders in the league at under center there with Derek Carr.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then they have that coach who has not done very good as a head coach.
Yeah, I'm not sure what kind of factor Josh McDaniels is going to play. I think it's
the only good thing he has going for him is he's a Belichick predecessor. You know?
Yeah, but he's failed so many times.
But here's the thing: Belichick assistants don't do well as a head coach. They don't. It's been dated back to the mid 2000s. They don't work.
Look at Matt.
Has there been one successful Belichick assistant, or are they just all failed?
I don't know.
I think they all failed.
I do know that Vegas.
Well, hold on.
Or they all went back to New England.
Coach for us, Flores. He's a Belichick assistant. So far, he's had an okay career. I mean, yeah, I guess
he's failed as a head coach, though.
Well, but hey, he just took a defensive coordinator assistant job.
Right, he's back to being a coordinator.
Well, an assistant to the coordinator.
He's not even a full-time coordinator.
Right, he's an assistant to the defense.
So that's not like everything we just talked about.
Right, but I think he'll work his way back into a defensive.
Because Flores failed as a head coach because he's not a head coach anymore, right? That's still good.
Right, but I think he will get another head coaching opportunity in like 3-4 years. I think he will. He is a hella good coach, and he will get a second chance.
All right. Well, I will say, I personally. That you mentioned the head coaching situation in Vegas. That might be the one reason why I'd say Pittsburgh might get a win over Vegas this, in week 16. Because honestly, after how much passion the team had and how much they rallied behind Richie Bisaccia to turn around and screw him over the way Vegas did with bringing in Josh McDaniels, we might see some dissension on the squad.
You might see dissension, and but here's the thing. I mean, a good squad can make a terrible coach look great. I mean, look at Mike Ditka. Statistically, one of the worst head coaches friggin' ever. But the 85 Bears made him look so awesome because of that defense.
What's the one thing Ditka regrets from that Super Bowl?
What is that?
What is it?
I don't know.
Not giving Walter Payton the ball at the 1 yard line.
You know what? Him and Pete Carroll have one thing in common.
Beast mode.
Man, they both just. Well, here's the thing: he won that Super Bowl.
Yeah, but here's the thing: who went into the end zone for the Bears on that touchdown? The Fridge, instead of giving it to Peyton.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. Watching the Fridge fly over that pile was pretty fucking amazing.
Watching the Fridge, plow over the Green Bay Packer dude. And in the regular season of that year made me realize, oh, dude. No, that made everyone realize this guy is a superstar. And then he started getting on talk shows and getting a music video. Yeah,
the dancing Bears.
Yeah, they call him the Fridge. It's Super Bowl time.
All right. Week 17 at Baltimore.
Yeah, this is where Baltimore wins. I say they split.
I say I have the Steelers winning this one.
No, so you have another.
I have them at 12-5. My
Oh
next
my
loss.
God, you're confident.
My next loss is to the Browns.
I
I say
actually
the Steelers win this one.
I have Pittsburgh getting swept by Baltimore and Cincy.
Baltimore doesn't have anybody except for Mark Andrews.
Yeah, but I see a split because no matter how bad Baltimore or Pittsburgh is, they always seem
If
to
you're going to
find
tell
a
me
way to beat
Dobbins
each other.
scares you, there's issues.
However, even though I have Pittsburgh getting swept by Baltimore, I actually have Pittsburgh getting the sweep over Cleveland, and I see them picking up a win week 18.
All right, so what the hell is my final record for them since you were keeping track?
Oh, Jesus Christ. I gave up after the bye week.
Okay, I'll go back with you.
But I've got Pittsburgh walking away at 6-11. Adams apparently got them at 12-5. He must think somebody on the team is Jesus.
Somebody's going to be the superstar, obviously. Okay, so where did you stop keeping track of mine?
All right, at the bye week, you were at 3-5 like I was. Because you had
New Orleans.
You had them winning against New England, Cleveland, and the Jets, losing to Cincy, Buffalo, Tampa, Miami, and Philly.
Yes.
Okay, after the bye week, we had New Orleans and Cincy, which I think you said 1-1.
I said that they were going to beat the Saints and they're going to lose against Cincy.
All right, that puts you up to 4-6.
Yep.
Indy and Atlanta.
Oh yeah, no, they're winning 2 games in a row right there.
6-6. Baltimore.
6-6, yep. They beat Baltimore there, so
you have them 7-6.
Yep.
Carolina.
They beat Carolina 8-6.
Vegas.
Lose to Vegas. That's 8-7.
Baltimore.
They lose. That's 8-8, and then they
the
beat
second
Cleveland.
Game with Cleveland.
So yeah, 9-8. I have them at 9-8. I think that's a realistic record.
You think Cleveland's? You think they're going to split the season with Cleveland?
I think they're going to sweep Cleveland.
That's what I meant.
Yeah, they sweep Cleveland. They split with Baltimore, and they get swept by Cincy.
So you think Tomlin keeps up his record of not having a losing season?
Yeah, I think with this roster, he could definitely keep the streak and be considered a great just because he wins a lot of games and does not provide any Super Bowls. Yes, he can definitely keep driving that narrative.
Okay. I do know all three of us, whether things work out and we're together or not for it, are planning on making it to at least week 4.
Steelers and Jets, that's got to be fun. That's going to be fun.
I know the original plan was you and I to go together, Eric, but you did say that you if I'm not mistaken, you said you were losing your season tickets.
Yes, but I'm still definitely planning on going to that game. I'll definitely be pitching up on tickets for that. Anyway.
Well, we're still waiting on our agent Sean to get back to us because he had mentioned trying to get Justin, a former player for the Steelers, to hook us up with tickets. So
that's dope. I'm in.
Otherwise,
we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens with Sean.
You guys can follow Eric as it's shown on screen at Eric_Reffert_96 at Shock Sports Pod. Check him out on Spotify. He's one of the founder of Shock Sports Podcast. As always, you can follow Adam at. Let me take a deep breath before I rattle these off. Adam can be followed at Migs242424, at Sports Talking It, at Hammer Time Pit, which is a unofficial fan page that he runs for the Pittsburgh Maulers of the USFL. You can follow. Wait, there's one more that I missed.
Sports Talking with.
Sports Talking It, Migs242424, Hammer Time Pit. What's the fourth one?
I don't think I have a fourth. Oh, I don't have a fourth one.
Oh, Thought there was one. My bad.
I mean,
Either way.
there's other links like Facebook, the Facebook like page, which I have, and Eric also has the Shock Sports pod. I saw we got some likes on there, Eric.
Oh,
Uh,
Even though we haven't been there for like ever, I was like, oh, we got a like.
hey, it's okay. I don't know if you're ready to record tomorrow, but I definitely want to get back into it. So.
There is, you can follow me at TJE Geoker. That's TJEGEOCUR. And as always, make sure you're following Mooncutter Sportscast at Mooncutters. This is Joffrey, Adam, and our special guest for the night, Eric, signing off.
See ya.
Later.